What's up, guys? It's Mr. Hodges. This is section 2, 11 through 22 of the study guide. This section, as you can see, all the sentences are in English, and it can be pretty simple, but what it's really asking you to do is to identify what part of the sentence the underlined pronoun is, and then from there picking the proper form of I, you, we, or y'all to fit that part of the sentence. Before we get into the answers, though, it'd be helpful to go back and review all these different pronouns that we've learned in the past. You can pause here and just write this down. I would suggest doing it. We've covered all these before, but just to refresh for you. The word ego means I. I think everybody knows that. But then we have the other weird forms like me, he, and may. And those are really just the dative and the accusative forms. So remember that if a Latin noun is in the nominative case, that means that it is the subject. And when it's the subject, it means it's doing the action in the sentence. If something is dative, if it is in the dative case, that means it is the indirect object. That means it is receiving the direct object. So in the example that we always use, Billy throws Johnny the grenade, or Billy throws the grenade to Johnny. Johnny would be the indirect object there. These can always be translated as to or for. So for example, me, he is to or for me, as opposed to just me or I. But also when you see it in a sentence, it doesn't necessarily have to have to or for in front of it. Basically what it needs to have, what makes something a direct object, is that it is receiving the direct object. Now the direct object is always in what we call the accusative case. That's going to be in the right column over here. Direct objects are receiving the action. So let's go back to the sentence. Billy throws Johnny a grenade. All right, Billy is the subject. He is doing the action, so he would be in the nominative case in Latin. Throws is the verb. Then you have to think who is or what is receiving the action. What is the thing being thrown? Well, in Billy throws Johnny the grenade, or Billy throws the grenade to Johnny. The grenade is the thing being thrown. So the word grenade would be the accusative word in that Latin sentence. And then, finally, we are left with who is receiving the grenade. Well, in that sentence, Billy throws the grenade to Johnny, or Billy throws Johnny the grenade. Johnny is the indirect object. That means he is receiving the direct object, the grenade, which is receiving the action, throws, which is being done by Billy, the subject. So, all the nominative forms, ego, tu, nos, and vos, it's I, you, we, and y'all. We have all the dative forms, mihi, tibi, nobis, and vobis. That's to or for me, to or for you, to or for us, or to or for y'all. And then you have the accusative forms, me, which means me, te, which means you, nos, which means us, and vos, which means y'all. You'll notice that for nos and vos, the Latin word is the same whether it is nominative or accusative. So that, kind of cuts down on the things you need to remember. These are definitely worth studying. These are on the test. So let's go back to the study guide. All right, so in this sentence, we have give the money to me. Well, that has that has to in front of it, and me is a form of I. So the answer for this one is going to be the dative form of ego, which is mihi. Number 12, the game was pleasing to us. Well, that has the word to in front of it. So once again, we know it's dative, and us is a form of we, so it is going to be the dative form of nos, or nobis. They saw us at the palaestra. Well, us is the underlined word, and you got to think about what it's doing in the sentence. Is it doing the action or receiving the action? It doesn't have a to in front of it, and it's not receiving any sort of direct object. So we can rule out indirect object. Us is the thing being seen. It is receiving the action, so we will choose the accusative case. The accusative case of nos, which is also nos. Number 14, she gave the award to you, plural. Well, that has the word to in front of it, so we automatically know it's dative. You, plural, that is vos, so the dative form of vos is vobis. I like you, singular. Well, you is the thing receiving the action like. You is the thing being like. That makes it the direct object. We're looking for you singular, so we're looking for the accusative form of to, which is te. Number 16, Caecilius called me. Well, me is the thing being called just like the sentence above, and so it is accusative. The accusative form of ego is me. Number 17, the emperor chose you, plural. Well, you is the thing being chosen, so we need the accusative form of you, plural, which is, once again, vos, just like the nominative form. 18, Quintus gave the discus to you. Well, that has the word to in front of it, and so we know it is dative. So we need the dative form of you singular, which is tibi. Number 19, I'll meet you in the forum. You is the thing being met. It is receiving the action, so it is accusative. So we will go with the word te. Number 20, we are going to see the games. Well, we is the thing doing the going. We is the thing doing the action. That makes it the subject. So we need the nominative form, which is nos. Number 21, you plural will enjoy the play. Well, you is the thing that will be doing the enjoying. That makes it the subject. So we need was, the nominative form. And then number 22, you singular now understand pronouns. Well, you are the thing now doing the understanding. That makes you the subject, and therefore the nominative form is what we need of the word to, which is to. Hopefully that helps. Good luck. Good studying.